Today I will be demonstrating an exercise I use in every aspect of my business, how to accomplish anything in 5 easy steps, whether in business or in life. The key to accomplishing anything is actually pretty simple. You start at the end. By visualizing and defining what you would like to accomplish, this automatically aligns all efforts, resources, and methods of approach with your goals. This is called strategic alignment. This simple step enables you to focus with pinpoint precision to easily determine what is most important and assign value to all efforts based on their economic value. Hi, I'm Master West, and for years I have used this simple method to help me build complex systems, new brands, and make major decisions. And I'm really happy to finally be able to share it with you. If you would like to follow along, I've provided 2 PDFs as companions to this video. One will help guide you, and the other is a worksheet. You can find these guides by becoming a member of our Lowland U group at Facebook/groups Lowland University. Let's start with describing what we would like to accomplish. For me, what I would like to accomplish is I'd like to launch a new brand. With this in mind, I'll start by defining my strategy as market entrance. The aim of your strategy is to define your destination and set the course. Keep your strategy simple. The less complexity you bake in at the top, the easier your objectives will be to achieve. Before we move on to our second container, let's stop for a moment and discuss something important. The most important thing to remember about strategy is that it is not a plan. This distinction has been a topic of many heated debates, but here, I hope to put it to bed forever by clearly defining what strategy is, so that you can start taking advantage of the incredible power defining and aligning with strategy will provide you. Let's start by defining what a plan is. A plan is a step-by-step process with strict policies. It's rigid by nature, requires each step to be completed, and does not accommodate change easily. In stark contrast, a strategy is a simple definition of what will be accomplished once all objectives are met. It is agile and flexible by nature, while at the same time encourages the use of one's knowledge, skill, and tactical abilities to accomplish strategic objectives. It is even more important to understand why planning at the wrong interval will add complexity and rigidity to what you are trying to accomplish. Planning from the top down adds complexity, makes your project unmanageable, renders your goals unobtainable, and does not give you the flexibility you need to deal with quickly changing environments. Planning should only be implemented where automation is required and where all methods of approach have been tested and discarded, where outliers have been identified and normalized. Jumping back in, this is why our second container defines our objectives. Simple, well-defined objectives will decrease complexity downstream and provide the flexibility needed in today's quickly changing environments. For example, in order for my new brand to be successful, I must create highly recognizable assets that my target audience will be attracted to, recall, and articulate to others. This, while working to achieve my visibility objective, multiplies my efforts and makes my work more valuable. Depending on the degree by which I canvas my market, my efforts will build trust through proximity and repetition, thereby ensuring trust is more quickly developed and market acceptance is close to follow. This brings us to container 3, our assets. Assets are resources, means of production, or capabilities used to physically produce value. Assets can be anything that deliver your brand to your target audience. For example, an asset may be using your abilities to create a logo. An asset's also your logo. It may be creating a network of influencers to expose your brand to a larger audience. Or it may simply be you, your tenacity and your drive in delivering value to your audience the old-fashioned way, picking up the phone and dialing for dollars. Our fourth container is logistics. Logistics is the deployment and delivery of your assets to your target through distribution channels. The distribution channels that you choose will help determine what assets you create, their distinct technical attributes, how you deliver your assets using any given channel, and the strategic advantage of creating assets with high economic value. An example of an asset with a high economic value would be an asset that can be utilized across multiple channels without the need for multiple productions of that asset to meet the technical guidelines or culture of any given channel. In layman's terms, an asset that you can post to Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube without needing to make multiple variations of that asset. Our last container is accounting. Accounting is pretty simple in that it gives you the guidelines for scheduling assets and how much time or effort should be spent on assets for distribution based on their economic value. It comes in two parts. The first is scheduling, when you will deliver your assets and through which channels, and your budget, how much time, effort, money you will allocate to each asset based on its economic value. Now, economic value simply means the cost to benefit ratio of any given asset. Now, not all assets are created equal. Determining an asset's value will be decided in several ways, such as how many times it can be used without creating separate variations. Can it be combined with other assets? Is it a high-performing asset in that it drives engagement and conversion, or is it a helper asset that provides insight into the habits of your audience? One example of a helper asset with low economic value is email campaigns. While email is not as effective as it once was, it provides a valuable helper service in giving us cold, warm, and hot leads by measuring how an email is handled by the target. Cold equals did not open, warm equals did not click, and hot equals open, clicked, but did not buy. These leads are converted to prospects and added to our follow-up rotations with distinct scripts that match where they reside in the purchase of the life cycle based on their activities. Let's add it all back together. As a whole, you can see the entire exercise is quite simple, yet extremely powerful in its flexibility as well as its capacity to help us quickly identify what matters most in achieving our strategy. With every aspect of what we do for business and life, it's hard enough. There are simple methods that, if applied at the right time, will make your life exponentially less complex, deliver more wins, and give you motivation to keep going even when things go off the rails. This is designed simplicity.